So you see it's around 50-50 on Earth. We think we are on a higher evolvement. Now I'm just playing a little bit about the ego, the mind, the human beings that is so evolved. On this planet, there's never been so many visible narcissists ever. Have you been on Facebook, Instagram? See me, click me, give me the food. You know, narcissists and manipulators needs food. They need energy. Like the thoughts, I need energy. So a greater manipulator understand this, how to manipulate all the others. So they make internet, they made Facebook, they made Instagram, and they made certain coordinates so you get hooked into it. It's beautiful. So you can control them by their own likes. It's beautiful. The easiest person to be to control is the person who needs food. A person who has food but needs food. And the world, and that is called the I thought. You are not here to save the world. You're not here to enjoy the world. You're here to realize that the world is heaven on earth. A person that has food but that needs food is the easiest person to manipulate. And they even are manipulators themselves. But then you have higher levels of intellects that can manipulate the manipulators and the narcissists and the beauty. You know, it's all levels of the same I thought. Now you understand that life is around 50-50. The human race or the manipulators in this I thought is going to have control over everyone. And the one who is controlling them, let the others under agree with their controlment based on what they like and don't like. This is the mind. This is the I thought. This is just the I thought explained differently. You are here to see that heaven is on earth, and you are questioning, what do you see? You're not here to save it. You're not here to enjoy it. You're here to see that heaven is on earth. Of course, that's enjoyment without the enjoyer. But then, if you see it here, it's everywhere. On all the planets. But then you see that some of the humans are waking up and see that they cannot fool themselves anymore. It means they cannot be fooled by their own thought. And then they realize the other is the same thought. They cannot be fooled anymore because they're not that thought. Now, this is the most true message today, and I will say it very soon. What I'm trying to say and tell you, you're here to see that heaven is on earth. That's why you came, and that's why life is given. And now the message, this was one message, and now the second message is coming. Listen to this. Life is unavoidable. You remember this little soap bubble you're sitting in, and you know that there's so much peace, love for you in there? Life is unavoidable. If you thought unconsciously or consciously that you can put your body into this soap bubble and say life is forever, you have to make a hole in the soap bubble so the safety and your home is not an illusion. Life will continue in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of states, in all kinds of places, forever. How can you become free? Do you understand? You're here to realize heaven is on earth. You've been given a brain, body, nervous system, a world, an earth, and universe to see it. And you try to find something in this drawing to hold on to, a knowledge, a concept, whatever. It becomes more and more advanced states of enlightenment, states of this this to hold on to feel safe, to say you found it, to see everybody that did not find it. And here you start to see that it's taken away, and somebody sees how beautiful this message is. Because God, the divinity, whatever you like to call it, the absolute, is not a glimpse. It's not like now I'm in this divinity and you tell me how happy you are, and I'm so happy for you. The next moment somebody took it from you and you cry like a little baby that or a child that stole your little play toy, Now it's gone. We have to push the hole and see the place where you can cry, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can be not, you can be smart, you can be intelligent, whatever you are, angry, mad, more emotional, confused, but it has nothing to do with you. And no one can take it away from you. And in another way, this is not like a something I say so you can hide behind it, because you will see the cause and effect will catch you if it's a me there, smack you around and let you roll around the hills. But here is something else. I don't say you should behave like an asshole, but whatever you are as a mind and body, and whatever the world is, because the mind and body is one with everything, whatever you are beyond there, allowing that to exist as divinity. But you cannot see that if somebody found it or somebody trying to find it, or somebody needs to behave in a certain way, or be this or be that, and live that rule or not that rule. And still, for some, it can be very beneficial to follow some rules and regulations because that fits them. So, like Jesus, I told you before, you need to take 100%, 120% responsibility for your own state. Now, when you come into this unity, it feels very good. But let's say call something a little bit different. Like you come into a oneness, and then you see, oh God, the body and mind is not separated from anything. Everything is one mind. And this mind, if I look at it and look at that person, and you start to see without judgment, you see like people are crazy and nobody can even trust themselves because they are their thoughts. That's why I say if you are the world, we're talking about me. I can take care of me. Poor people, they cannot take care of themselves. You are the world. And where do you find the beautiful state of divinity in there? Or you can see one thought is fighting with another thought to accept the third thought about the other. But medical companies, military companies, politicians, and all the one who's ruling that, and all the one who's ruling that, welcome to the world. Where is heaven on earth? So you are invited to find heaven on earth, and you know how. And this is your invitation. This is why you came. And when you look at it and you see it as it's not like the movie just switched to another movie. You can still see the same for a while. So I also said that in one way, grace is taking away all the roads to Rome, not to grace, you know. And for the mind, this sounds terrible, but it's not. So then we start to see more and more clearly, you cannot find happiness, peace, safety in anything that can be called anything. And the moment you say, but can it be, but, grace says no. But it can maybe be a little bit like, can be like me. Grace says no. And every time you or grace or consciousness itself, try to move out of there. The closer you are to truth, trying to make metaphors here, let's say closer you are to the water, or you're in the water, and the deeper you are, and you try to get out of there, the more it will be meaningless, um, without success, destruction. And when you're there, it will be a flow or a light. So let me give you another metaphor into this, just to let you see, but I guess you understand it completely now from the first moment. Okay, something is expanding, and it's like a me, little happy me in this world, or a little sad me in this world. Same thing. Something is aware of that, and it will change. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel, it's like life is unavoidable. And in this, when you start to see and start to be, something feels like it's expanding. So the separation gets less and less, and you get more and more information, and less and less ego. You see more and more of what's going on in the world. That means the world, in one way, is changing to show you this. You can see on the world today, the leaders cannot hide anymore. They are showing itself. As an example, you cannot hide for you anymore, and you are seeing, and consciousness in itself as itself, showing itself, the world as a metaphor. And so you can see what's going on in the universal mind. And from there, you are invited to see this as unity. You are invited to see this as peace, because you are peace. And then you will see that I'm bliss, and you will see this as bliss. And you will see it more and more without the separation. Even if a mind and body says I'm separated. Here you see that there's no me that needs to accept this, need to see it with the eyes of love, need to do this or this. But still you have the intellect and understanding what it is, but you can still have an opinion on how you would like things to be, and how you would change things from here, and how you see solutions from here, and all this. It's very natural when it is an expanded mind. But then you realize that when this little me, or the one who understands, is gone, it's up to you, but then it's up to you to change the whole universe. And then you understand that what we taught before, that the world needs to change for me to be free, the universe needs to change for me to be free, the body needs to change for me to be free, the mind needs to change for me to be free, is just bullshit, because the one who is aware of this is already free. And that shift happens by itself, and it's going on, and it already happened. And then you see that, oh, then I don't need to do anything. No, laziness can be good. But if you're too lazy, you become slow. It's not good feeling. So you will jump up and do something. But you see, it happens. So you cannot go too fast. You cannot go too slow. And you can rest. And you realize this terrible fact, or this beautiful fact, that no one in this world, nothing in this world, that you can see around you can save you or set you free, because he's here to tell you that you already are. Another way to say it is you were never born, and what you see around you were never born. And what you see around you will shift and change all the time, but it will still be gold. Another way to say this, just to make an understanding, or for some maybe, it is the flow is not in the drawing. The flow is moved in its rightful place and seen from seen where it comes from, or can be what it is. The flow is not in the drawing. It cannot be in the drawing. It's an illusion. I ate this, now I feel like this. Yes, it is a cause and effect, but we are looking for the cause, the real cause, the stateless state. The life force cannot be in the body. And you can say, I feel it in your body. Yes, because consciousness is aware of the body. The next moment you look up, you look at the screen, and it's on the screen. The next moment you look at the wall, and it's on the wall. It's between the wall and in the room. The next moment you look at your hand, and it's in your hand. The next moment you look at this, and it's there. So let's say you've been a long time into spirituality. It's more like where, the question is always, where does the thought come from? What is it? And if you're into energy, where does the energy come from? What is it? Oh, it's a little bit this, a little bit of my knowledge there, a little bit this. Where does it come from? What is it?